Continuing our look at near-future Android what-if stories, we watched the Russian series Better Than Us. Stay tuned to hear what we thought. Welcome back to Cheers and Jeers, where we review some of the best and worst of film and television over the years. But before we continue, please take a moment, smash that like button for us. Share this video on social media if you like what you see. It really does help as we continue to try to grow this channel. Now, on to our review, and just a quick warning, we might engage in mild spoilers here and there, but since most of these shows and movies that we're reviewing are a number of years old already, we think everything's fair game, so consider yourself warned. Better Than Us aired in 2018. It is a Russian show. It ran for a single season of 16 episodes. It was filmed and set in the city of Moscow. Now this was dubbed into English. I believe you can enable subtitles if you prefer to hear the original Russian and read the subtitles, so you have your choice in that regard. Some people prefer the subtitles because you get the the original acting coming through, even if you can't understand what's being said. But we watched it with the dubbing, and it was just fine. I didn't find that to be distracting or too much of a detractor. The story takes place in the year 2029, and in this future, these androids have become commonplace in society. They are mostly mindless drones. They perform menial tasks and whatnot, but a new one named Arissa is more intelligent than the rest, and that's what our plot follows. Is this android ends up accidentally killing a person and then goes on the loose, and the authorities are trying to figure out why this happened. She ends up moving in with adopting this family, a divorced husband and his son, and the company that created her is trying to hide the fact that they can't make more androids that sophisticated, meanwhile trying to track her down and figure out the whole situation. Meanwhile, there is a subculture of rebels who are trying to discourage, if you might say, the use of the androids in society. They steal them and destroy them and perform various acts of vandalism and terrorism and whatnot. The basic premise here is a story that we've seen done a number of times before. We also recently reviewed the British show Humans that had a very similar premise that itself was based off of a Swedish series of a similar name. Blade Runner and a few other stories have explored a lot of these similar dynamics of robots that are designed originally as servants to humanity that become self-aware, and the struggles that can surround that. So this story is not 100% original, but it was interesting to watch nonetheless. It had its own unique storyline. It was kind of fun to see a Russian television series. That's something we don't always get very much of in the American market. We get a lot of imported TV series from other English-speaking countries. We get a lot of British television, some Australian, a lot of Canadian. But to see something from Russia was kind of interesting, especially being both set and filmed in the city of Moscow. That was kind of fun to see that setting too. Aside from the androids in the storyline, there's almost no advanced technology, so it is set in nearly a present day environment, and honestly, that's kind of the science fiction that I prefer in a lot of cases, rather than something that is so far removed from present day that you can't relate to it as much. And I grew up a big Star Trek fan, and I remain one to this day. But of course, in that world, everything is so advanced, and you've got aliens and spaceships and all sorts of fanciful technology. In a story like this, and the series Black Mirror is another example. What you're doing is you're taking, in a lot of cases, just one idea of a very plausible technology that could exist in the relatively near future, and putting it in our present day real life world, and then exploring the ideas of how do we react to that? How does that change us? How does that change our culture? And I find those kind of what if scenarios really compelling, and that's something that this show did really well, and so so I enjoyed that. It was good acting, all Russian actors, so nobody we're familiar with as an American audience. At least I wasn't, but they did a really good job with the acting. It's character-driven storytelling, which I really like. I can't get into something as well if you've got two-dimensional characters that don't change much over time and they're just there as plot devices. But here you had rich characters, and you really felt for the main protagonist, as he's dealing with being a single dad, custody issues and whatnot. That was really seemed genuine. And the story's not overshadowed by a lot of special effects or action sequences, and that is something that I think in low budget or medium budget type productions can actually be an advantage. If producers are coming at a production and they've got a massive checkbook, it's all too easy, and we see it happen over and over and over again, that they get obsessed with these really dazzling special effects to the detriment of deep character-driven storytelling. And something like this, where you're focused on the story, they've got a few effects here and there as needed to move the story along, but that's it. And I really think that that's the best way to do things, and they did a good job of it here. I would give this show, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I think that it did a good job. It was very interesting to watch. It was just a single season, and they wrapped it up in a fairly tidy manner. I mean, you could tell they set themselves up for a second season if they wanted to come back for it, but not in a way that left loose ends to the storyline that really made you feel unsatisfied. There was a bit of a cliffhanger, but if they don't come back, I felt that I had a complete story from beginning to end. The characters had a satisfying arc, and so I give it a positive review. Good solid 8 out of 10. It's on Netflix if you want to catch it. That's where you go to find it. So check it out. So what do you think? Did you agree with our opinion? Did we leave anything out that you think really deserves mention on this show? If so, let us know in the comments. And as always, like, subscribe, share this video. If you like what you saw, it really does help. And leave us any recommendations if there's something else you think we should review. And until next time, keep cheering and jeering.